Mastema appears in the Book of Jubilees first as a kind of executioner who works on God's behalf, and later as more of a demonic figure. Mastema's duty is to carry out punishments against humans who sin and deny God as the creator of all things. It's also Mastema's job to tempt humans to sin, thereby testing their faith. During the narrative with Abraham, Mastema is the one who suggests to God that he should ask him to sacrifice his own son.
Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. My name is Uticas if you are new, and if you manage to watch this video till the end and like it, leave a like. If you did not like it, leave a dislike, just be honest. And yeah, without wasting any time, let's get to the video.
Penemu. The celestial being Penemu appears only in the Book of Enoch as one of God's fallen angels. However, his role in the destruction of humanity and the creation of the Nephilim is controversial. It's unclear whether he was truly an evil angel or if he was just a desperate savior of humanity. Some say Penemu didn't do any harm to humans because nowhere in the book does it say he murdered anyone or gave humans forbidden knowledge. Instead, he showed mankind the secret wisdom of reading and writing, potentially in hopes of inspiring them and leading them away from darkness. All it says in the Book of Enoch is that Penemu taught men the art of writing with ink and paper. However, it does go on to say that humans were not designed for such an art. Men were not originally created to understand reading or writing. Without the ability to create stories on paper, there was a small chance anyone would doubt God or sin. For this reason, the gift of writing is seen by some as an act of evil, making Penemu just as bad of a watcher as the rest of the fallen angels. Do you think Penemu teaching humans how to read and write did more harm than good? Let us know what you think in the comments down below, and while you're at it, hit that subscribe button. Number 5.
I don't think that I've ever heard of this angel or fallen angel before, but I think that's because it's only mentioned in the Book of Enoch, which is not considered like part of the Bible or authentic. But it's interesting to know that there are different angels out there than the ones that we've heard of in the Bible, and I have done a video about the Book of Enoch before. You can go check it out if you're interested. Yeah, it's just a fun read.
Mastema. Mastema appears in the Book of Jubilees first as a kind of executioner who works on God's behalf, and later as more of a demonic figure. Mastema's duty is to carry out punishments against humans who sin and deny God as the creator of all things. It's also Mastema's job to tempt humans to sin, thereby testing their faith. He basically holds something tantalizing in front of them to see if they'll take it, and then he punishes them if they do. Mastema appears in several other texts, and his personality is always a little different. In the Dead Sea Scrolls, he's described as the angel of disaster, the father of evil, and a flatterer of God. It's in these scrolls that we see Mastema give in to his own selfish temptations and separate himself from heaven. Later in the Book of Jubilees, long after Mastema fell from grace, he becomes the chief ruler of all of the Nephilim. Although he was not a Nephilim himself, he took command of their forces. Then, when God was ready to flood the world and get rid of the abominations created by his fallen angels, Mastema intervened. He begged God to allow him to keep at least 1/10 of the demons he had been commanding. However, God denied him the opportunity, but allowed Mastema to continue testing the strength of men. During the narrative with Abraham, Mastema is the one who suggests to God that he should ask him to sacrifice his own son. Number 4.
Okay, so question. Are the Dead Sea Scrolls part of the Bible, or are they all the other non-canonical books, the Book of Enoch and the like? And it's just interesting to me that there is so much that we still don't know when it comes to scripture and all of that stuff, pretty much from every other religion as well. But it's good to just know where these things came from. And and another question, were the fallen angels similar to the angels that rebelled against God in heaven, or well, according to Christianity, or were they a separate group of angels, like after they all fall of like mankind and all? So if you know, you can tell me in the comment section.
Azazel. Azazel is a lot of things in religious texts. In the Christian and Islamic traditions, he's a fallen angel, but in Jewish lore, Azazel is the name of a desolate landscape. This is where the goat holding the sins of the Jews is sent during the first Yom Kippur. It wasn't until later that Azazel became a fallen angel in the Christian narrative and was demonized as the most evil angel of them all. He was supposedly the one responsible for human beings receiving some of the most tainted knowledge of the Watchers. The name Azazel appears in passing in the Dead Sea Scrolls and the Book of Giants, but it's in the Book of Enoch that we get the full story behind the angelic being. Like all the main Watchers, Azazel had secret wisdom that he wanted to bestow upon humanity. He was responsible for teaching them the secrets of witchcraft. Azazel showed human beings how to wield magic, which corrupted them down to their very souls. Warfare, astrology, geomancy, and the art of writing all played a part in corrupting humanity, but witchcraft was the worst of them all. Men and women were led to wickedness and impurity from which they could never return. Azazel was such a villain that he was given special treatment when God banished the Watchers into the valleys of the earth to wait for Judgment Day. Archangel Raphael bound Azazel by his hands and feet, chained him to the rock of Judale, and left him there in utter darkness to await the apocalypse. Supposedly on the day of reckoning, when the 7 seals are opened, Azazel will be released from his dark prison, only to be thrown into the fire and consumed forever. One passage that sums up Azazel really well comes from the Book of Enoch. Chapter 10 verse 8 reads, "The whole earth has been corrupted through the works that were taught by Azazel. All sin is ascribed to him." Number 3.
Okay, for from what I've gotten from that is that this Azazel could have been derived from Judaic history, so it might not be an actual angel or yeah, or something like that. So I think a lot of things get adopted from different cultures or around the world, or this could have been like a fallen angel, like mentioned, but you never know. We were not there when all this was written, so there's really no way of finding out. But it's just interesting to me that there are so many differences when it comes to different religions, especially the Abrahamic ones, considering that they had like a similar source. You know, they came from the same place, and yeah, just something nice you'd want to look into if you're interested.
Bezalel. Bezalel is the 13th Watcher described in the Book of Enoch. He's considered the angel of the shadows, sometimes referred to as the shadow of God. Most interpretations of Bezalel depict him as a kind of personified shadow, making him one of the most mysterious of all the evil angels. And because of his mystique, Bezalel was ordered by the leader of the Watchers, Samyaza, to observe all of creation and report any useful information back to him. Unfortunately, there isn't much else to say about Bezalel. Like so many minor demons, his name is very rarely mentioned in any ancient texts. He's so seemingly unimportant that many scholars have left him off the official list of the 20 most important Watchers. When theologian Robert Henry Charles translated the Book of Enoch in 1906, he didn't even mention the fallen angel. Number 2. Gadriel. One of the most despised fallen angels in the Book of Enoch is Gadriel. He taught humanity the art of using cosmetics, something that would have been a pretty big deal 4,000 years ago when the book was supposedly authored. Some have blamed Gadriel for bringing the knowledge of vanity into the world and how a person can change their face using cosmetics. Gadriel was also the fallen angel who showed humans how to use weapons and taught them how to wage war against one another. Like many of the other fallen angels, Gadriel had 12 black wings and was massive in size. He also had ageless beauty and looked like a smooth marble statue. His hair was bright blonde, almost golden, and his eyes shined an intense shade of red. The corrupted angel Gadriel was said to be the original guardian of the Garden of Eden, charged with keeping unwanted guests out before Archangel Uriel took over the position. Number 1. Shamziel.
Okay, I have to ask, where do these names come from? Gadriel, Samael, all these names. Were they translated from other words? But because they don't seem like they are the names you'd commonly find in somewhere like the Middle East. And I know that people say that the Bible was given to us by power of God and all of that, and it was written down. Yeah, I see that, but my question is, when that happened originally, did these names were these names similar to the way they are now, or they just translated into the English language? So that's just something I wanted to ask, and if you could provide some sources to that I could go and search up and look up and see if I can find out something about this. Anyway, let's continue with the video.
Shamziel is described as the 16th leader of the Watchers that followed Samyaza into darkness and betrayal. His name means Son of God, and he was responsible for teaching men and the Nephilim the songs of the sun. He lived during the days of Enoch's father Jared and appears in a lot of religious texts and ancient legends. It's believed Shamziel may share mythological basis with Shamash, who was the Babylonian god of the sun. Many people aren't aware that a lot of pagan gods are based on some of the worst demons in the Bible. Gods worshipped by the Canaanites, the Babylonians, the Sumerians, and even the Egyptians were most likely some of these evil fallen angels. As a way for early Christians to discourage the worship of pagan deities, scholars believe they started turning them into demons. As the years went on, many old gods like Shamash lost their credibility and were demoted to minor entities in biblical tales. In the Zohar, the source of all Jewish mysticism known as Kabbalah, Shamziel is also an important character. He's described in the sacred Jewish text as the guardian of Eden during Adam and Eve's expulsion and a leader of 365 legions of angels. Because of the discrepancy between sources, nobody really knows if Shamziel was a fallen angel or a good angel. Like many religious figures, Shamziel is one thing in Christian mythology and something totally different in Jewish legends. Which of these angels did you find the most terrifying? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel.
Okay, this was an interesting video, and to say the least, and it's just nice to see that there's so many differences when it comes to one religion and the next. And yeah, I never knew that there were so many angels mentioned in Christianity, even if they're not from canonical books. It's just interesting to see. And yeah, you can go to and sub and to this channel, Origins Explained. They have a lot of content like this if you're interested. And yeah, thank you for watching, and see you amazing people in the next video.
Kick.